two amazing artists here, and I remember you talked a little bit about how you spent a lot of time alone as an artist, and I remember Clara just recently published her mailer also had a little bit of that in there as well. So I was wondering if you had any questions for Clara, what would it be?
Yeah, I think, based on, I'm in Australia, so whilst music is universal, our mindset is, based on our exposure to how everything happens over here for us, with the way radio is here and the way social media is affecting the artists. And we have our own kind of unique challenges in this continent. So, you being on the other side of the world, sort of like trying to understand, what's your objectivity on base, like someone like myself, if I was trying to get more coverage in, say, in the US, what would be your advice to me? How should I approach something like that to get more exposure over in the US, for example?
What an amazing question that the answer could go on, but I really I think it's universal, the answer, in the sense that you've already covered, I think, the main thing that I've encountered as you've experienced is about not doing this by trying to do this by yourself, right? It doesn't, wherever we are, the reason I work with May and other young people who want to learn about the business, but also I've had a team. So my best piece of advice is, wherever you are, do not try to do it alone.
Yeah.
I don't think that it almost doesn't matter what it is we're trying to do in the world. None of us can do it alone. And that's the main thing that I see happen with artist friends of mine who, I think there's kind of an old school, quote unquote, approach to doing music where people say, well, I'm looking for somebody else to handle all of this and that. And really, these days, as an artist, we cannot afford so it's a twofold thing, right? It's like, don't try to do it alone, but also, as an artist, you need to be aware of the fact that what you're part of, whatever it is you're trying to accomplish, is fine. It's all valid, right? Whether you want to sing a song around a campfire, or whether you want to, to have millions of people hear your songs, you cannot do it alone. And so the days of having a manager who takes care of everything, because they actually, as an independent artist, they can actually, have some kind of income derived from taking care of you. The role of a manager for me is to basically expose you to opportunities. As an artist, as an independent artist, we need to be, you and I, Dino, met in the same course, right, with Carrie Cole. It's like, we need to be musicpreneur. We need to be aware. We need to be aware of the fact that if what we want to do is accomplish that, is we need to be aware that we're running a business. And so find a team, and a team, like when I first onboarded, Sarah and other people on my team, I had artist friends who said, how do you afford that? I said, and little by little, I was like, how do I not afford that? I cannot afford to move forward if I try to move forward by myself. And I think that's true not just about art. I think it's true about anything. We cannot do anything alone. So I'm trying to get to answer your question in a way that, just like you said, build a team, find people who, and these people may be people like May, who is learning and who is supportive and who's brilliant, by the way. May, if you wanted to work with May, she's awesome. But find people to delegate things to, because none of us can do it alone, right? We can't be the creators and the promoters and the managers and the so build a team. And repeat your question to me again.
Well, no, I see. The question was really, based on, we're on opposite sides of the world, and whilst there's everything by default these days is is kind of international and universal. But introducing myself to more of the audience over in the States, there might be some kind of nuances to that.
So here's another thing we do, as we're doing when we interview you, and with my team, we I think a big part of introducing ourselves as artists to international audiences is to shine the light on the people that we would like to connect with. I think one of the beauties of the internet is that there is no middle person. So make a plan of, here are the here's where I would like to go. Here are the people I would like to associate with, and connect with them. And connect with them in a way that brings value to them. I see too many artists I'm sorry, I'm watching my cat jump through the window. Forgive me. I see too many artists who are like, come to my show, do this, do that, do that. And actually the way that we all do, whether it's music or not, we do business with people we care about or trust or have some kind of a relationship and an exchange with. So if your thought, wherever you are, wherever I am, is these are the people I'd like to work with, they're actually now accessible through social media. But the way that we're going to connect with them, you or me or May, is to go find out about them, to support them, to shine the light on them, to add value to them. There really is no more middle person. So you're saying, how do I, in your country or in any country, decide who you want to work with, and then connect with them and go there and add value to wherever they are, and create, an exchange and a relationship. It's amazing to me. There's so many artists who, since we're going to talk about artists, who are just like, look at me, do this, sign up to my list, do this. And I'm like, yeah, but if you're looking for an exchange or somebody to have a relationship with, why don't you go find the people you'd like to work with and genuinely, say, wow, I really like what you wrote, and I'd like to talk with you, and here's somebody, and here's some way I can help you. And when you make yourself valuable to other people, they'll start reaching out to you, because they're like, here's somebody I'm interested in connecting with. I hope that answers on some level. It's not like a immediate answer, but an immediate outcome, but it's so much more possible now than it used to be. Like, you don't have to try, to go to Paris to an office where you want to be represented by this person, and the first person you meet is the secretary, and unless you impress them properly, then you're not getting any further, right? There is no middle person anymore. You can reach out, you can decide, this is somebody I want to work with based on what they've done. And so we do this with May and with our team. We find who are my sound-alikes. We reach out to them. We connect with them. Through them, we find out, well, if these people like them, maybe their following would like us too. We add value. We connect with the people we'd like to be connected with, and that's very possible on anywhere in the world. And that's how we're you and I have been connected for a number of years, but that's how we're interviewing you. We're like, we're asking you, I'm sorry I didn't turn in my dance video with my husband in time to be in your video, but I think what a great project. And I ask May and my team, I say, who do you want to interview? So we're interviewing you. Clearly, we're curious about you and how you do what you do. We're going to expose you. Obviously, we hope that through that, some of the people that you're connected, your followers might be curious about us, but it's about passing it around, right?
Sure. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
I hope that answers
Love.
in
Yes.
some way. We
Spread
can
the
go on
love.
about this for a long
That's
time.
the message, isn't it? Spread the love.
Spread the love, and that's something that you do greatly, and it's something I, uh, uh, you know, pride myself or focus on. It's pass it around, shine the light. I mean, I always tell my team, it's like, whatever platform we're on, please go find people we can shine the light on. It's there's a guy actually in Australia. That's who I learned about Twitter from. He said it's like a box of chocolates, right? You first you offer 80 chocolates and you might talk about you for 20, but because when you do that with other people, then when you support other people who you genuinely like,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
then when you need something, they'll come back and go, sure, I'll put this out about you. So it's a passing the ball kind of thing. It's really the reverse of I taught
It's like connecting authentically.
yes, it's connecting authentically. It's like you don't go to social media and just say I like what you're doing just because you think if I say what I like what you're doing, then maybe you might like what I'm doing.
Mhm.
But you don't off the top of the head the minute you connect go, hey, like my stuff.
Right.
No, it's actually just go out and be genuine and give. And I remember teaching at the Independent Music Conference in LA. I did that 2 years in a row. I was asked to present a workshop, and I said to artists, I said, when you had a phone book, which we barely use anymore, you didn't call everybody in the phone book and say, hello, I'm great. Hello, I'm great. Hello, I'm great. Like nobody cares, right? You may be great, but really nobody cares. And it's the same thing with this. It's like nobody cares until they know how much you care, right? And so it used to be a phone book, which people barely use. Now it's the internet, and there are artists who do use the internet as an advertising billboard, and it doesn't work. It's like, it's not, if you look at an artist's page and all it says is listen to me, like my page, do this, support me, da-da-da. We're all humans, right? We want to support each other and give back, and you do that greatly, Dino. I mean, you do your thing, and then the vibe that you have in your music is very inviting, and you invite people, and you've done, congratulations on pivoting through this thing, which I really enjoyed listening to you, how coming back when suddenly, because when this all started, I was planning a house concert tour. Obviously that got, and it brought, for all of us artists, brought us to, what do I do now? How do I keep doing what I'm doing, which is important to me. And so thank you for sharing your story. And I'm going to take myself out of the question here, but thanks for asking the question, and keep doing what you're doing, and let's keep sharing the love. Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very much.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Clara, for that.
Yeah.
Beautiful, and it's so important to connect authentically. And that segues us into our final question. Dino, you kind of answered this a little bit before, but I was wondering, is there a motto that you maybe live by, and if there was any advice that you could give upcoming artists or people who are looking to pursue a career in music?
Yeah, look, I think the ultimate goal always is how do you get people involved in your music, because that it means that there's a two-way flow and there's engagement, and that kind of on the back of what Clara just said, it's about what are you giving, and so more so than ever, like during what we've just come through, I found myself really asking the question, what am I actually contributing to others, more than ever, because we weren't able to perform, and I really had to question, my existence as an artist. What am I actually really trying to do? And it's a very simple but powerful question to ask yourself, because it's about contribution. What am I actually contributing with my music? Is what kind of energy, is it? How am I inviting people to respond to that and get involved with it? And I think that's the dance that we're kind of learning as an artist. How do we get better at that dance? Between sharing more of your true, authentic self, and part of sharing yourself is actually you have to discover yourself too. You know, like it's taken for granted. Like if someone says to an artist, look, you know, you got to share yourself. Well, you know, the artist has a responsibility to get to know themselves as well, because, you know, one of the things about evolving as an artist is we're influenced by what we hear. You know, we're inspired by what we hear, but that's someone else's mojo. You know, that's someone else's inspiration. You know, coming back to the mojo, it's like, so you hear someone else's mojo and you go, wow, that's so cool. And it kind of lifts you and it energizes you. And that's how we're all influenced with music. And then at some point, you've got to discover your own mojo. And that's a life never-ending journey, I think, because I don't think you'll ever get to that bottom where you've gone, okay, this is it. There's always a deepening of those layers. So I think the most important thing is that you're in that funnel where you're actually starting to plug into who you really are as an artist. And that's your job as an artist. I think you've got to discover yourself so that you can share more of yourself with other people. And I think the more you discover yourself, the more you have to share. And then when you're sharing with someone, you're actually giving. You know, it's not about asking, it's not about receiving. It's actually you're giving when you're kind of sharing with someone. And then there's an opportunity for the audience, for the other person, the listener, whatever the environment is, to actually respond and then become part of the conversation. And then we have the dance of music in full bloom, and it's a beautiful thing.
That's beautifully said, Dino. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, I absolutely love that. You know, we're all just chasing our mojos.
Chasing the Mojos, that might be a name for a song.
I think if we all just work on our mojo, the world would be a beautiful thing, or 24/7.
Yeah.
True to that. Well, Clara and I love Can't Keep Still. We both were listening to it and talking about it. So congratulations with your new single and your music video. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us today. It was really, really inspiring, kind of getting to know how you came into this business and learning what you've accomplished so far. So thank you.
Thanks so much. It's been a joy to be able to have this conversation with you, and I really appreciate the time. Thank you.
Thank you, Dino. It's been awesome. Thank you, May, for putting this together. And Dino, very thought-provoking. I mirror and echo a lot of what you said, but you articulated it beautifully. And so thank you so much. We're all going through some similar things. Thanks for putting it in words in a way that really touched me. And I know May and will touch many people. We'll get this out, and we'll talk soon.
Thank you so much. It's been an absolute pleasure. Love to you all. Cheers.